Well, good evening, guys, and it's another Friday night. And once again, I've got a couple of news items for you. And of course, I'll tell you what I think, and I'll put the links down below. Now, here's a femon that's 22 years of age. I think the horse has got it right. But anyway, there was an incident that happened to her, or she created, when she was 18. Apparently, she went out with her friends, all femons of course, and they all got quite drunk. So eventually they got a taxi home late. And of course the taxi was a male driver, because they're workers, you know. And they asked him to stop the taxi because one of them was going to be sick. It doesn't actually say what happened, but that's when the incident occurred. All these femons attacked the driver. Physically, that is. And this femon took her stiletto shoe off and started hitting the man with a stiletto. And she hit him in his right eye and punctured it and blinded him for the rest of his life. Anyway, that was 4 years ago. I have no idea why it's taken so long. And of course she was given a suspended sentence. Of course, because she's a femon. But the Court of Appeal changed it, because I guess she appealed it, and they gave her 3 years in jail, saying that the suspended sentence was too lenient. What a surprise. Bet you she wasn't expecting that. And now she's saying she's very sorry for what she did. And she has a young baby now, and she has to breastfeed it. Now here comes the femon's excuses. They use her children as levers, don't they? And she said she's given the man £4,000. No problem. Do you want to take the other eye for another 4,000? Or how about my leg? Cut my leg off and throw it in the meat grinder. I'll take 2,000 for that. Does she not understand that 4,000 is absolutely nothing? This man is blind in his right eye for the rest of his life. This incident has changed his life completely. Obviously, the femon doesn't want to take responsibility, because she has a child now, and she's begged with authorities to not let her go to jail, because she has to breastfeed it. And the prison she's going to doesn't deal with children there. You see, she doesn't want her life to be changed, she's just changed the man's life forever. But he's only a male, and she's a princess. I don't know what the final outcome will be, but in my mind, she should at least serve 18 months in jail to signify the severity of what she did. Of course, her lawyer says she didn't mean to do it. When you're hitting somebody with a stiletto shoe, what do you mean on doing then? Making friends? I mean, what do you guys think? I mean, there's no way she's going to do 3 years in prison, because she's a femon. She has a tube. I myself personally am very sort of surprised the Court of Appeal actually gave her a harsher sentence. But either way, the man that lost his eyesight will get no real justice at all. And this femon doesn't really care at all either. Only about one thing, herself, because it's affecting her life now. What about his? Ah well, let's move on. So here is a femon, apparently a very petite femon, weighing no more than 50 kilo. She was only 20, and she had a newly printed passport. And she was acting very nervous, so they gave her a body scan. And they found that she had ingested drugs in her stomach or whatever, and she also had some drugs in a condom shoved up her flooey. And it was quite a lot of drugs. This girl was stacked. So they took her to the hospital and they safely removed all the drugs. And of course they've taken her passport and she is in jail, but she refuses to talk about anything. She was booked on a flight to Barcelona, Spain. Of course, the story will be that she was forced by somebody, or probably she thought they were candies or something that weren't allowed into Barcelona. You see, it's the thing that femons kind of project that butter wouldn't melt in their mouth, and that's why they've got away with it for so long. Same with the predatory teachers, femons. They're getting caught out all the time, going with their underage students. It's happening so damn often, it's not a one-off. But they still play the victims, don't they? We are starting to see the little secretness of femons' nature. But as we know, they're all victims. It's a shame, really, because this femon's only 20 years old. And her outlook in life doesn't look very good, does it? I mean, just think about it many years ago. A young petite femon. Who would check her for that sort of thing? Hey, maybe the world's waking up to the real femon nature. Well, guys, here's a femme, well, not a very nice looking one, of course. But anyway, she's been charged with doing oral on a dog. Yes, that's right. And afterwards, she tried to get the dog to reciprocate, of course. As you do. God, that's disgusting. She got caught out because the boyfriend had put security cameras in the house. And he found the 6-minute video. God knows what he must have been thinking at the time. So he handed it over to the authorities. And now it says her ex-boyfriend, of course. And she's actually admitted to what she did. She said that she may have a fetish. No kidding. Anyway, here's a picture of the dog, and he's very embarrassed, actually. And in his defense, he didn't reciprocate afterwards. Good boy, she told him, by the way. Fancy saying good boy on the video. You can imagine if this boyfriend hadn't put any security cameras up, he would never have known. I mean, at least this femme admitted it, but then again, she had no real option. There was video proof. But generally, they still deny it, don't they? Anyway, she's been ordered not to have any more pets for whatever time, and she's on a $100,000 bail. Oh yeah, and she said this is the first time she's ever done that sort of thing. Yeah, don't exactly believe that. Anyway, the dog was released back to her ex-boyfriend. Boy, that's going to be a bit difficult, isn't it? Now here's a femme that some of you may recognize, some of you may not. This is Marilyn Monroe. She was a sex goddess many years ago. And quite some time ago, there was a femme, a young femme, who was in a major TV soap in the UK. But she got herself into drugs, a lot of drugs, mostly cocaine, I think. And she shoved a pile of it up her nose, which caused her nose to collapse, and her face to collapse as well. She's had multiple operations, but it doesn't look much better. Now this femme is 49 years old now, and she's just had some breast implants. And she's in the paper, and the paper says she's getting in touch with her Marilyn Monroe part. Let's take a look. Nope, I'm not getting the old Marilyn Monroe thing here. I'm just getting a sort of an old lady who's had breast implants that look ridiculous. As you can see, though, femmes think that way. They think, well, I'll just get breast implants, because it's all about the breasts. But men want more than just breasts. They want something up top, like a brain. Maybe even something to look at. A personality, perhaps. Well, I don't know. Maybe I'm looking at it the wrong way. Let's get a closer picture. Good God. No, that's nothing to do with Marilyn Monroe at all. But we see many stories like this running in the papers, don't we? And the papers are just embarrassing these people. I mean, I do feel sorry for this femme, but she's done it all herself. But once again, another delusional femme. Oh, hang about, I got the Marilyn Monroe thing. No, that was just the hair. And it's a shame that she's actually embarrassing herself here, and the papers are helping her do it. She really wants to try and get out of the limelight and get on whatever life she has left. And she should take the breast implants out and start acting her goddamn age. Don't you think? Anyway, let me know what you think about these guys. Take it easy now.